For a young solicitor like Jonathan Harker, the future seemed bright and full of promise. He was on the verge of marrying his beloved Mina, and he had just accepted a lucrative assignment to finalize a real estate transaction with a wealthy count in the heart of the Carpathian Mountains. This journey would secure his career. Only one strange name stood in his path: Transylvania. The closer Jonathan's journey came to its destination, the more it became steeped in an air of dread and superstition. At local inns, the townspeople would cross themselves in fear upon hearing the name Count Dracula, whispering prayers for his protection. They warned him that once night fell, evil forces ruled the roads. Jonathan, a rational man of the 19th century, dismissed their words as rural folklore, but seeds of doubt had been planted in his heart. On a dark and foggy night, a black carriage drawn by horses as black as the night itself carried him toward a castle that pierced the sky like a sharp black fang. Dracula's castle was immense, silent, and terrifying, as if it had grown from the very rock on which it stood. At the entrance stood a tall, thin, and pale man with a cold smile. He introduced himself as Count Dracula. His manner was aristocratic and his words intelligent, but something about him stole the peace from Jonathan's soul. His eyes held a demonic glint in the dim light, and his hand, when they shook, was unnaturally cold and bony. The first days passed in a feigned tranquility. The Count was awake only at night, speaking for hours with Jonathan about history, wars, and his real estate dealings in London. During the day, he would vanish completely. Jonathan soon discovered a horrifying truth. All the doors and windows were locked. He was not a guest. He was a prisoner. Terror began to creep through his veins. One night, while shaving, the Count appeared silently behind him. Jonathan started in fear, cutting himself. But the true horror came when he looked in his mirror and realized that Count Dracula cast no reflection. It was as if an invisible specter stood behind him. A moment later, as the Count lunged toward the blood on Jonathan's chin with a strange greed, his eyes blazed with fury. The climax of Jonathan's horror arrived one night. From his window, he saw the Count's dark figure crawling down the high, vertical walls of the castle like a monstrous lizard, disappearing into the night. There was no longer any doubt. He was the captive of an inhuman, demonic creature. While Jonathan fought for survival in his stone prison, thousands of miles away in England, life flowed on in peaceful ignorance. His fiancée, Mina, worried by his long silence, spent her time with her best friend, Lucy Westenra. Lucy, a beautiful and vibrant young woman, was immersed in dreams of a bright future. But this tranquility was not to last. One night, a violent storm battered the coast of their town, Whitby, and a derelict ship named the Demeter mysteriously ran aground. The ship was empty, except for the corpse of its captain tied to the helm. His logbook told of an unknown, terrifying entity that had hunted the crew one by one during the voyage. Local witnesses swore that after the ship crashed, they saw a large black dog leap from the deck and vanish into the darkness. The monster had arrived in England. Almost immediately, a mysterious illness befell Lucy. She began to sleepwalk at night, and with each passing day, she grew paler and weaker. The finest doctors were baffled by her condition. No one noticed the 2 small red puncture wounds on her white neck, 2 marks that resembled a bite. Before the worried eyes of her loved ones, Lucy was slowly fading away. No one knew that her weakness was not an illness, but the insatiable thirst of the monster from Transylvania, the monster that now walked freely through the fog-laden streets of London. And as the baffled doctors searched for a cause for Lucy's decline, a dark, ancient shadow crept ever closer to its next victim, Mina.